As a biologist, I tend to turn to nature for analogies and metaphors for what we humans do. Perhaps the most basic rule throughout the living world is that the destiny of a group resides in the qualities of the individual, and so it is with our species. Benjamin Disraeli noted two qualities that are needed to facilitate the advance of civilization: the means to get things done and the time to assure that they were done properly. Certainly the man we remember today had these, but he also had other more consequential qualities. He had curiosity, the curiosity to look critically at the world of plants and gardens, to see and understand the endless diversity and the beauty of plants, and the myriad ways they could be used to make gardens. He had the ability to discriminate among forms available to make gardens, both landscape forms and plant forms, and to select those that met his high standards and his desires in building gardens. He had the vision to see what a garden or an institution or an organization might become if the pieces were put together with intelligence and sensitivity to do worthwhile things and do them well. And most importantly, he had the drive and commitment to bring his visions to fruition. But beyond these personal qualities, Frank Cabot was an advocate. And Carolyn has mentioned a number of instances where his advocacy made a difference. When he saw that things could be better, he put all his energy and resources to the task. And he marshaled the abilities and energies of others to make the world a better place. I venture that nearly everyone in this room can trace his or her friendship with Frank to one or more of his projects to improve the quality or performance of things that he believed in. He asked us to help make change, but he also changed us in the process. He believed in gardens and was knowledgeable of virtually every significant garden in the Western world and some outside that. He was concerned for their future and worked to save many of those in peril. He made two of the finest gardens in North America and provided for their operation after his passing and into the future. His belief in the worth of such exceptional gardens and his imprimatur gave pride and confidence to those who worked in and for those gardens and organizations. He believed in the public garden idea and worked on untold boards and committees, some of which we've already heard about, helping them to reach a higher level of stewardship and service. The programs of gardens, like the New York Botanical Garden, Wave Hill, Brooklyn Botanical Garden, and the Royal Botanic Garden in Ontario, the National Arboretum and Winter Tour, and of course his own Stonecrop Gardens as it became a public garden. He believed in gardeners, people like Tom Everett, Marco Polo Stefano, Caroline Burgess, Panayoti Kalaitis, Dan Hinckley, Carl Grieshaber, and others who you've heard the names of today already. And this is to mention only a few of those that I'm aware of. He worked to see that those who shared his high standards of plantsmanship, taste, and creativity were appreciated and employed in situations where they could be most effective and personally fulfilled at the same time. His loyalty to those he helped had never failed. He believed in garden scholarship and not only authored what has been called the most outstanding book on the making of a personal North American garden, but has supported the publications of others that might not have seen the light of day without his help. I just spent several weeks in the Adirondacks reading The Caucasus and Its Flowers, a beautifully written and illustrated paean to the alpine flowers of that grace those mountains. His advocacy in that case and in others helped to assure that the English version would be available to us. He believed in garden organizations, and we've heard something about that already, and founded one that will continue to embody his vision and deep desire to preserve the extraordinary garden creations of others, the Garden Conservancy. He was a sought-after speaker for national and local plant and garden societies, and in particular, the North American Rock Garden Society. I remember when he masterminded that production we've already heard a little about, of the 50th anniversary meeting of ARGS. It was in Asheville, North Carolina. I remember his entrepreneurship in that occasion. He was not averse even to marshaling his wife and daughter, Anne and Mary Ann, to be of service to the organization, driving a rather large stake body truck loaded with staging and plants and things that were necessary to put on that great meeting, 50th anniversary meeting. I believe they drove it all the way from New York to North Carolina, and then continued to man the registration booths for several days after getting there and helping with the setup. In general, being Frank's hard-working staff to make the celebration a success. Sometimes advocacy needs its own advocates, and he had them there. Frank came into the gardening world, saw that things could be better, and became an advocate and a prime mover in his quest for the greater perfection. In the gardening world, some lights will always shine more brightly than others. None burn brighter than Frank's. And all of us here today, if we shine at all, perhaps we do so, at least in part, through sharing his reflected light. I'm thankful to be one of these. In ending my attempt to capture just one facet of this man, advocacy, this man we called our friend, I can do no better than quote his friend Panayoti Kalaitis, who could not be here today, unfortunately. In Panayoti's recent tribute in The American Gardener, he concisely captured the essence of the man. He said, "Frank cut a striking figure, tall, handsome, elegant, and erudite. He was the epitome of the gentleman gardener." Thank you.